Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Today we are back with episode 4 of our newest Let's Play series in Oxygen Not Included. Last time around, here on the left, we built the start of our power brick, and today we have a lot to do. So let's just jump right into it and see how that works out for us. And here we are. So let's take a peek. We need to turn our overlay back on, hop into the germ overlay, and then pause the game. We are down to about 5,000 germs right here. Here on the bottom we are down to around 3,000 roughly, and on the very top here we are still at about 8, and over here on the right we are still, there was one piece with like 17,000, here 25,000. So there's a little bit more to go until we can actually clear out this entire area here, but we will certainly get it done. Our buddy buds are hard at work, but there are several things we need to take care of, and one of the first ones is down here on the bottom. We have all this carbon dioxide as well as all this other nonsense going on right here. Yeah, that is not going to fly. I want to get rid of all of it, and I want to get all this chlorine here down to the bottom. And there's only one real way to do this. Last time around I built 2 airflow tiles right here, so we gotta go into oxygen and build a carbon skimmer just like this. And then in refinement we need a water sieve, and the water sieve I'm going to rotate by 180 degrees just like this, and we're gonna plop it in. Okay, so far so good. And of course we may as well plop in the piping while we're at it, and we are coming into here just like this, and we're coming out of there and out of there, and that is what that should look like, and that should make it a hell of a lot easier and a hell of a lot better. But there are 2 things that we need. First of all, we need polluted water, and the polluted water we may as well grab right from there and dig all this stuff here out while we are at it. So I'm gonna come just straight through here and all the way to the bottom with a liquid pipe and a liquid pump. You know what, screw it, we're just gonna plop it right here, which we can't do because there's a piece of ladder, so the ladder has to go. And then in our F2 overlay, we of course also need a wire that needs to go over here, and that needs to go down to there. Here we might as well hook it up already. It's not going to do anything without any water, but for right now, that should be fine. And last but not least, a dig command, and then this here is ready to roll. Let's go. And while we are waiting for our dupes to actually complete our construction, let's take a look if we have a dupe potentially. So let's pause the game real quick and let's take a look into our blueprints and let's see what we have. I definitely don't want pufflets, that is already a goner. So let's take a look at Ren. Farming, doctoring, and suit wearing. Radiation eater converts radiation exposure into calories. That is interesting. I don't think I've actually ever seen that, but is it really that useful? I don't think so. Germ resistant, increased germ resistance. That is cool. Decreased from use speed. Overall a pretty decent dupe with farming and suit wearing, but doctoring really kind of pointless. What about Quinn right here? Wrenching and supplying, +3 and +3. That's pretty decent. And handy, increased construction. Cannot do cooking errands. Yeah, that is a pretty decent dupe right here. And then what about Frankie? Tidying and wrenching as well, which is basically even better with increased construction once again, and kitchen menace. I think I like Frankie. Yes, I think that Frankie is better than Quinn. So we're gonna bring on Frankie, but Frankie is of course not going to stay Frankie. Frankie is going to become the ace. The ace, welcome to the game. You know what, we're gonna write it like this so it looks halfway decent. All right, the Ace, you are one of my Discord members. By now we are 140 strong. Let me plug my Discord here very, very shamelessly. If you want to join the 140 people strong community on Discord and talk about all sorts of games, of course Oxygen Not Included, with tips and tricks all around it, feel free to join. Link is in the description down below. But now let's take a look here in the printing pod into our duplicant skills. What is going on? Eric, what are you up to? You have 10 moral and you only need 3, so you have plenty of space to go, and we're gonna give you improved strength. That should be okay. And of course we might as well upgrade your hat while we are at it. That's say you're also ready to roll. You are already super duper in construction. Of course you are, why wouldn't you be? But what about digging up here? We could give you also super hard digging. Is it worth it, or should we go into something else? I think you're fine. We're gonna give you 1 more in digging. You have plenty of moral, so that's not an issue. And then the Ace. The Ace, we're gonna get you down the ranching path. So we're gonna start of course with farming, and we give you the appropriate hat. You can, together with Magenta, start ranching and crop tending. Wonderful. Down here the construction is now completed, and there are only 2 things left. First of all, we need to hook up our pipe that we can actually feed in some polluted water, and then up here on the top in our F2 overlay we need to hook the pump up to power. So those are the 2 things that are missing, and this is the last thing here that needs to be built. And here comes the Ace, and is he on the job? No, he's just delivering a few building materials. But somebody else should come by here any second now, I hope. Who is coming? Somebody build this piece of pipe, please. Come on, guys. Turn up the speed. Let's get it done. I want to get this here ready to roll right away. And right here we have it, our polluted water is coming, so let me turn down the speed and get the snipping tool ready, because we only need a very limited amount of water, and I believe that is already enough. Yes, let's snip it off. We can always add more. Adding more is easy, taking it back out, now that's the hard part. But it looks pretty decent. We have a constant stream. We are not blocking our pipe or anything like that. Yep, it looks like that was done perfectly. Yeah, wonderful. That was probably more luck than anything else, but I will take that any day of the year. And back up here, all we have to do is put in a liquid vent right there. And then, of course, in our F2 overlay, we just gotta snip off the power once again. And we're going to leave the pump here because eventually we will have to pump this polluted water out here anyway. So we'll leave it and we will wait for that to happen. So this liquid vent here, as soon as it's built, we're just dumping all the water from that line back into the reservoir, and that should be perfectly fine. And the liquid vent is now built, and right here the last of our water is coming, and we're just dumping it back where it belongs, just like that. While I was waiting for the liquid vent, I noticed something else. I wanted to automate this here just a tiny little bit. Problem is, I can't, because I don't have the appropriate sensor. It's not here. We have not researched it yet. So let's hop into research and see if we can find it. It should be down here in liquids, gases. Here we are, and this is what we need. We need the Atmos sensor, and we will get the insulated gas pipe out of it as well. So that is exactly what we are going to research next, and that is going to be good. And now let's take another look how we are looking over here. We are in cycle 65. Have we already made some headway? Oh my goodness. I would say the answer to that question is a hard yes. We have made quite a lot of progress. There's only a tiny little bit of Slimelung left. Over here on the left, we have a pretty big pocket. And here on the bottom, we're also not looking too good. But our floral scent is overtaking all of it. I don't see a problem with that whatsoever. It's just a tiny little bit longer. And this here should be all floral scent. Wonderful. No more Slimelung. That is what we want, and that's exactly what we are going to get. While all this is going on, down here I built this really big chlorine room, and yes, that is not going to work, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is, just to get started, I'm going to tear all of it back out. Only the interior, and we're going to build it anew. And this here is not going to work because I overlooked a very important piece, and that is this right here. That is why this here is not going to work. Well, actually, could we do something about it though? Could we make it work? That is the bigger question. And I do not think that the answer is yes. Yeah, we cannot make it work the way it is. Yeah, we're gonna tear it all out. We're gonna start over. And we're probably going to reduce this room here drastically in size. That's what we're going to do. I may just fill it up from the back forward and slowly but steadily fill it in and then tear it back out, so we can actually have a room that is a hell of a lot smaller, and all we're going to use is one single liquid reservoir, because we have so much water on this planetoid that it literally does not matter. So that's what we're gonna do. And our research was just done, so very good. Let's get rid of all those exclamation points, and then let's grab us the Atmos sensor and head all the way down here to the bottom. And then let's say right around here, maybe I want to plop it down, and then with an automation wire, we're just gonna plop it into there, because I don't want to have this thing here running forever and taking up valuable power. I just want it to run when we actually have accumulated a good amount of carbon dioxide, and that's exactly what the plan is. So let's see if we can make that happen. And the Atmos sensor has been built, and I'm going to say send a green signal if the current ambient pressure is above a random number. How about 250 or 200? Let's say 200. It doesn't really matter. I just don't want it to be running constantly and forever and actually creating a vacuum, because that's exactly what the carbon skimmer here does. It creates a vacuum, it fills back up, and then it creates a vacuum again. And that is, of course, completely and utterly pointless. So let's see if this here works a little bit better. And in here in our chlorine room, all of our liquid reservoirs and everything is gone, and the dupes are here, and they're tiling it in one by one, slowly but steadily, just like this. So that's how we're gonna go until we reach somewhere maybe right around here. Not entirely sure, we don't need a hell of a lot of space, but we will be right back, and then we will build here on the bottom exactly what we need. So let's take a look when we are getting there. And now this is what this here looks like. And before we do anything else, I want to send the dupes in there and grab all the stuff out of there. What can we not store? Actual copper. Okay, yes, this is not set up for copper, of course, because at the time we did not have refined metal yet. But of course, refined metal is also allowed to go in there. So let's get that done. And unfortunately, it has now, what, 3,900 grams in there, which is good for germs, but bad for dupes. Sorry, dupes, you will have to get through it one way or another. Something else that I want to do, and we can do that slowly but steadily in not new blueprint, but in used blueprint. I need to find the right one. Let's see. We have it somewhere around here. It should be theoretically number 28. No? Which one did you save? Let's see. Is it this one right here? No. This one right here. It saved it for some reason at number 16. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put in 2 more of those staples right here and right there, and then we can come through here and actually dig out all of this stuff along here. All of it needs to be dug out. Also here on the top, 4 high, we gonna just come straight through all the way to right there, and everything that cannot be dug out, we are going to deconstruct. All of it, we don't need it, so let's get rid of it. And of course, while we're at it, let's inspect it and get the data bank out of it. I do not care about the entries, and the security door here also gets deconstructed. I hope no dupe gets stuck, but as I know our dupes, somebody is definitely gonna get stuck. Yeah, they will not be able to dig this here out without trying to kill themselves. Let's see how that goes. And the beginning of cycle 68 is here, and we have now built all of this here, and no dupe got stuck. Huh. Could it have something to do that I named them after the best of the best, my YouTube members? Could that be it? Yeah, maybe so. If you want to join this elite crew of people, join my YouTube membership, get the cool emotes, get the nice badge right beside your name, and support me directly. Shameless plug number 2 in one video. I'm so sorry guys, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. But let's move on down here. All this here is now ready to roll. So what do I want to put in here? Let's see. First of all, we need a liquid reservoir. One single one, and I'm going to build it right here. That is the first step that we need to do. Then we need in plumbing a little bit of automation, better to say a liquid shutoff, and we're gonna plop the liquid shutoff right here. And then, now it's getting interesting, I'm going to do the standard old version of a door. So the door is gonna come down here, the mechanized airlock to be even more precise. Unfortunately for that, we have to dig out 2 tiles. Of course, I don't want to let out all of my wonderful chlorine, so we're gonna put 2 tiles right underneath it. Those have to go there anyways. And you know what, just for the fun of it, I'm gonna dig out these here, and I'm going to plop in 4, just so it looks a little bit nicer. And yes, that is absolutely unnecessary, and I am well aware of it. And there we have it. The liquid reservoir, of course, cannot be constructed. So let's change that. We need to pop a door into here, and the door is going right there. And then we may as well plop the rest of the automation in, which is going to be very, very simple. Not an Atmos sensor, but a cycle sensor. And better to say 2 of them. One right here and one right there, so we can very easily distinguish them. And just like that, we can put in the automation wire, 1 down to the door and 1 over to the liquid shutoff. The liquid shutoff also needs power, so we're also going to accommodate that. I'm also going to hook up this door here, just so it opens and closes a little bit faster. That's really not necessary, but might as well, because screw it. Those 120 watts once a cycle are not going to kill us. So let's plop all this in, and then let's see. By now I've also figured out what I'm going to do with this room right here. We're going to enter it from the top somewhere right around here. Might as well, because why wouldn't we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct this and deconstruct that all the way through. And then actually, you know what, I'm going to give the command right away. All these tiles here, we can get rid of them. We just built them, so we can get our chlorine here to the left. Now we can get rid of them, but also, how are we looking on the germ front over here, by the way? Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All we have left here is this storage bin, and this storage bin here just needs to be disinfected once, and there will be nothing left in this area. What that also means is, yeah, all these deodorizers here, I built them for nothing, and they can go. So that is next on the agenda. Let's get rid of them. Just like that, because in our F4 overlay, those 2 pieces of polluted oxygen definitely do not warrant 3 deodorizers. So let's make sure that those go. This entire area here is now dug out, so we have all the sandstone here laying around and the igneous rock and all the other stuff that we have here. So what we are going to do is, in refinement, we need 2 water sieves. Let's see, what is the smartest way how to build them? Does it really matter? No, it really doesn't. We're gonna plop 2 in here just like this, and then in the back I just gonna have 1 compost, and then I'm also going to have 1 where we add in medicine. We're gonna grab us a sink and plop that one in as well. That's exactly what we are going to do. And how were we setting up the plumbing? Might as well do that while we're at it. Temperature shouldn't matter really, so we don't care about it. We're gonna use a normal liquid pipe. I don't know exactly where our water is coming from, but I know now that I actually built this liquid shutoff here the wrong way around. How else would it be? Would be boring if I would do it right the first time, wouldn't it? So let's actually tear it back out. Good grief. And then let's see if we can do it a little bit better. but that does not hold us off from building our liquid piping right now, because with our water we are coming somewhere here from the left, and this here is going to be churmy, dirty water, and I don't know where it's coming from, but I know it will come down here and it will go into there and it will go into there, not like this, like that. That's where it's going to go. And then we're gonna come with this one here out, and with this one here we all gonna come to the right but also to the left. So we fill up the sink here nice and properly, and then this here we're gonna come out and just lead it back into the water sieves, just like that. Pretty simple and straightforward, because the sink, it does not matter if the water that goes in there is churmy. It literally does not matter at all. And with our outputs we're gonna come over here, and at the end of the day we're gonna end up right there. So let's get that done. And then here, all this here is now destroyed. So back in plumbing, a liquid shutoff, and this time the input goes right on this side, and then of course with a pipe into here. There we go, that's more like it. And then back in automation, we're gonna grab us a cycle sensor right here, and then an automation wire right there. And then we're gonna hook up that whole thing to power. So let's do that just like that. Great, there we have it. That's what that should finally look like. Down here on the bottom, I think it is time to get started with our water. So let's go to plumbing, and let's grab us in plumbing a liquid pump. And the liquid pump, we're just gonna plop it right here for right now, and that should be perfectly fine. Eventually I will put a different floor in here, but for right now that is perfectly fine as it is, and we are not going to do anything about it whatsoever. So next on the list, in a wire, we're gonna come up here all the way and then come all the way over to here. I'm going to hook it up, but then I'm going to disconnect it just with the pliers so we have it ready to roll whenever we can. And this here, yeah, I just don't like to see that kind of stuff, so let's get rid of it while we can. Then in plumbing, we're gonna grab a liquid pipe, and with the liquid pipe we are coming over to here as well and follow up all the way into here, into here, into here, and into there. Just like that is how I want to have that. And then we're gonna plop in liquid valves. 1, 2, 3, 4 should be more than sufficient, and if you need even more, we can literally just turn them around and plop more on the other side, but 4 should definitely get the job done in my opinion. So then next on the list, we can get started up here in this area with the first little bit of water. So we're gonna come out here, and right here we're just gonna come around up here to the top, then down to here, all the way through, back up and over, just like that, and then through the entirety of the bottom, because eventually all this here will become hydroponic farms, and then we are ready to go whenever we have that. For right now it's fine, we're just gonna get it ready. And then with the second one, we're coming all the way over, one further than before, and then we're gonna come all the way up, and right here we're gonna come across, just like this. And then right here on this spine, we're gonna come straight up all the way to the top, just like that. And that is the first thing that we need, so let's get that built and then go from there. And while we build the rest here, we can already start right here on the top, because next on the list what I want to put in is showers. Yes, I know a lot of people don't use showers, but we have so much water, we may as well get that tiny little bit of a morale boost in while we can. I'm a big fan of the showers. I don't know why so many people are against it, I'm not going to lie. If you have any arguments against them, put them down in the comments. I'm happy to hear them. I really can't find any. They work. Yes, they take a little bit of time away from the dupes, but the moral boost is worth it to me. So I'm gonna plop him in, and we will go from there. Of course, might as well, something that we haven't done at all is crown molding. So crown molding all across here, all across there, and then our bedrooms, we also don't have any crown molding in, so we might as well plop it in right away while we are at it. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit better, so let's get it done. Now that we know where the showers are going, we can actually start and go ahead with our clean water. And don't forget, this here is our clean water supply, and the clean water supply comes literally just straight across here, and it ends right there. It doesn't have to go any further. All we have to do is hook up all of our showers, and that should be more than perfectly fine. Just like that, we are ready to roll. Very, very good. And then for the output for our showers, what we are going to do is literally just build all the way across here and all the way straight up. That should be also perfectly fine without any issues whatsoever. We just need to get it all done. But the question is, now that we have all this polluted water, what exactly are we going to do with it? And that is a really good question. I think I want to store it over here somewhere. I could just build a big reservoir of some sort, of course, as usual, or I could build an infinite storage. And I know a lot of people consider infinite storages as cheating or as exploiting or whatever you want to call it, but in my personal opinion, I don't think so. It has been in the game for so long and it has never been patched, so I consider it a feature and not a bug. Now that is my personal opinion, you can agree with it or not, that is just how that sometimes goes. So how are we going to do that? right here on the top is where I want to build it, or maybe right above here as a matter of fact. Yeah, why not? Here we have a beautiful space. We just need to keep in mind that this here is our line. So let's see if we can come up with some sort of halfway decent design right here, and then right here on the bottom, too wide, and then right there, gonna come up, and then right around here we can build 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should theoretically work. And if I then plop another one right here in the middle, yeah, I believe that is a design that could potentially work. Let's dig all the way over to here. There we go. That is our normal length. And why am I not building it all the way in the back? Come on. Of course, we're gonna plop it back here. So let me rebuild it real quick. And there it is. That's where it should go. That's where it should have been in the first place. So let's get this here built. It's going to be quite interesting to see if that works. I have never built a design like this, so there's only one way to find out, isn't there? And now this thing here is built. Last one is this one here to lock, and then let's see what else we need. First of all, of course, in plumbing, we need pumps, and I'm going to make them out of, yeah, we should never need them out of gold. Yeah, this would never be a chance, but you know what, screw it, just for future proofing, I'm going to build these 2 pumps here out of gold, just to be safe. And I'm also going to come out with insulated pipes. And we are going to have 2 insulated pipes that are coming out. One is going down to here and into there, because that's where we're going to feed our entire system here from with this one pipe, better to say this one pump, and then a second one. I'm just going to build it over here. From here we have access and we can go wherever we want later on. Also, second on the list is going to be automation. In automation, with this one here, I'm going to come straight out, and with this one here, I'm going to come over to there. 2 signal switches so we can actually control them. And then in power, I want to build a conductive wire this time. Once again, for future proofing. Once I close this system, I don't ever want to enter it again, and therefore we need to make it future proof. So we're going to come out with this kind of wire right here to make sure we don't have any problems in the future. And I'm actually going to build it all the way down here because we're going to hook it up to the same wire as this one here. Or are we? Is that going to work? You know what? Thinking about it, we are actually coming out the top. There we go, in this direction. And that should be a hell of a lot better. So let's get all of this here built, and then we are going to fill it with polluted water and see if this here works. Actually, as a matter of fact, one thing is still missing, and that is a liquid vent here and a liquid vent there. So that should be it now, for real. And cycle 74 is here, and this here is now done. Everything's locked up, everything's built, nothing's missing. We have power, we have piping, and we also have automation. That is exactly what we need. I just had to rebuild this wire. I'm also coming out of here with my pipes all the way through, all the way up here, and all the way over to there, hooked up to our showers. So what we have to do next is right here. We need to get rid of these bathrooms right here. Yeah, that's right. So let's get that done right away with a number 9 priority. I do not want to wait for it, so let's get it done right away. Let's go. And that was, as expected, very quick, so let's get the real stuff in. First of all, lavatories on the left, 3 of them, and then in medicine we need to find us our sinks, and we're going to plop those in as well, just like that. That should be perfect. And then in plumbing, in our liquid pipe, we need to hook up our fresh water, just like this here, and just like this here. And then what we are going to do with these here, we're going to come out and up, and then straight over and into this next spine here, so we have a little bit of a space right here. That is going to be pretty simple and straightforward. And of course, there's always an exception to the rule, and the exception to the rule is right here. We can't go up because that is our fresh water supply. So we are coming down, and then we're going to come all the way over to here, something just like that. And then we just connect them all together, again, something just like that. And then we're going to come up rigid right there, and then from there we're going to keep on going all the way to here and all the way over. Clearly, we don't have a real floor in here, so it's just going to deconstruct this piece. So we're going to put in 2 pieces, and that's what that should then look like. Wonderful. While I'm at it, I'm going to put 1 extra in just because I can. It doesn't really matter too much, so we're going to plop in 1 more bathroom. We don't need a bedroom, so we're going to leave that alone. At the same time, I already wanted to do this earlier. We are coming in here with a wire, and we are going to split our entire power system into 3. So first of all, we're going to come over to here, and then we're going to come over to here as well. And then here we're going to come straight along all the way down to right around here maybe. You know what, screw it, we're going to come all the way through the back and then into here, over to there and into there. That should be fine. Only those two pumps are currently going to be hooked up, just like this one light, because it's so nicely in the way, so might as well do that, right? Yeah, exactly. Snipping tool, just like this. Of course, that didn't work. No, it actually did. We're going to deconstruct these two right here. And then what else do we need to deconstruct? This connection and this connection here. All of this here needs to go. So we are going to split it into 3. That should be a hell of a lot better, and it should also look a hell of a lot better. What I also want to do, just for aesthetic reasons, is hook all this here up from the bottom, just like this. There we go. And then everything that is right here, we're going to rip out as well. All right, let's get all of that done, my dudes. And while we are also finishing up the power grid down here, we might as well directly build this connection right here. Because while we're at it, why not pump all this water here into our infinite storage as well and stop actually outgassing and using all these deodorizers. So let's grab this liquid pipe right here and let's see where is the easiest way to come through. The ladder is the answer. So we're going to come straight over to the ladder, and then with the ladder we're going to come up to here, go further up to there, and then hook it up to there. With, of course, 2 liquid bridges, kind of like this and like that. There we go. As simple as that. That's exactly what we're going to do. And that will be the fastest way how we can fill up our infinite storage and see if it actually works. I have never built one with 2 inputs. Theoretically, it shouldn't make a difference, but practically you never know. So we will see. And cycle 76 has started, our water is coming, it is currently all the way up here and it's filling up all of our showers. And the first little piece of dirty water is coming in as well. And I was just thinking about something else. I could actually vacuum this here out real quick, just to be 100% sure that it will work. And I think I am going to do that. And that's going to be very simple. We're going to build 1 more airlock right here and 2 more tiles right there. Then in ventilation, we're going to grab us a gas pump, plop it somewhere, it doesn't really matter, right around here maybe. And then with a pipe, we're going to come out right here, build a gas vent just like that. And what we will also need, no, we need nothing. We need absolutely nothing. All we need is power, and the power comes from the top, just like that. There we go. Let's get this here built really quickly, and then make sure that we're actually emptying out all this stuff right here. Well, here all we are trying to accomplish is get the carbon dioxide out. That is really all we want. As soon as we have no more carbon dioxide in there and all we have is polluted oxygen, then we are happy. That last little piece right here, let's suck it out. Come on. You will have to go if you like it or not. It's just a question of time. You will disappear. And here we have it. That's what that should look like. Wonderful. It finally pulled out the last piece of carbon dioxide. I believe it's right there. Okay, so all we have to do now is turn off the pump. We don't need it anymore. That is just a waste of energy. And we're not going to enter this room anymore until we have our second tile full with water. That is the general idea, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And our water from the bottom is already coming. Yes, it is. Of course, there is a tiny little bit of an issue, but that is not a problem at all. There we go, let's speed it up a little bit, and it should run smoothly again as soon as our dupes don't use the bathrooms anymore. And here we have it. Yes, that is exactly what that should look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to give a general deconstruction contract for everything, especially this door right here. Let's get rid of it, and then this here, lock it with a number 9, and this one here, lock it with a number 9 as well. That is what needs to happen as fast as duply possible. Let's go. And there we have it. Great. Our deodorizer is here, taking care of all the polluted oxygen that we just generated. We can also make sure that we pick up all the stuff that's laying around, and we're looking pretty decent. We have a little bit of sandstone in here and gold, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Not entirely sure where gold is coming from. Where did we put gold? Did I deconstruct something that I shouldn't have deconstructed by any chance? I really hope not. Nope. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Well, I'm not sure what the problem is, but it's fine. So, last but not least for today, what I want to do is I want to test out the system right here. So how does it work and what does it do? Up here on the top, we have the cycle sensor hooked up to this liquid shutoff, and this here makes sure that we get water in here. And the activation time should be at 0.5%, preferably something like this here. And we're gonna let it run all the way up to, let's say, 33 should be fine. And then this one right here, the cycle sensor, which is hooked up to this door right here, here should have an activation time of 0, and we are going to make sure we make it all the way to like, yeah, let's say 66 should be plenty. Then we have 1% left over. There we go, 66. And let's see what that does. It opens the door, and the liquid reservoir right now is not on the floor anymore. We will see what that looks like here in a second. First of all, let me make sure we turn this one here on so we actually pump it out, and we can see now we are pumping our water out of our infinite storage, and we are pumping it into the water sieve. And in the water sieve, it will come over here into our sink and over to the left as well. And it's now stopping right here. And it's just sitting here, and it has a bunch of germs in it. Actually, we cannot see it, can we? No, because it's on the inside. Yeah, we cannot actually click the water and see how many germs we have, but we will as soon as the cycle is over. So let's wait for cycle 79. And cycle 79 is about to start. So we're going to go very slow, and we can see that this door here opens. And now it says here, liquid reservoir missing tile. That's correct, we are not on the floor anymore, which means we cannot pump out any water. So let's see if I'm correct about that. And to make actually sure we are correct about that, all I have to do is put a liquid vent here. Kind of forgot about that. Without that, nothing's gonna happen anyway, because it can't go anywhere. But what we're doing now is we are putting the germy water into here. But because it's not on the floor, we can only enter, but we cannot exit. The input always works, but the output does not. Therefore, there's no water anywhere here. You can see a liquid pipe, contents empty, 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 everything's empty. But right here, we are bringing in our germy water. And we're doing that for exactly 1/3 of the cycle. So let's speed it up a tiny little bit, and let's make sure we actually get the water in here. Let's watch the cycle sensor. We can see right here on the right how it is going down slowly but steadily, and we have now the liquid vent here. So if the water wanted to go somewhere, it could, because we have an output. But that's not what's happening. We're still pumping in a bunch of water. That is exactly what's happening. So let's make sure we watch it, what happens as soon as this one here reaches this point. And right around now, we are reaching this point, and we are turning the shutoff off, and the water is just sitting here. 1,990 kilograms to be precise. And the germs are going down drastically. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh yeah, that is great. And as soon as we reach 0, I'm going to pause the game right away, and then we're going to look at the other cycle sensor where we are at. And we are counting down the last few germs, and now, there we have it. And we can see we still have this much of safety margin to go. That is how much more we could in theory have on germs that we can get rid of. So this is a pretty much a very simple system. It's a very small, very compact. We could have built this here even smaller, but it's fine. We have space. It's not really that big a deal in my opinion. So we're going to speed it back up, and we will see what happens as soon as this one here goes into the red area. And we're about to reach the red area, so let's watch our pipes, and as soon as this one is reached, the door closes, and now our reservoir works. And now when we take a look, if I turn on our germ overlay, we shouldn't see any germs. Well, we actually see germs on the pitcher pump. A tube that is a little bit germy must have used it, but our water here, 0 surface germs. Nothing is here. It works exactly as expected, and it's really simple. All it requires is 2 cycle sensors, and it's basically foolproof. There's really not a hell of a lot that can happen. If you want to be 100% sure, you can send this cycle sensor here to 1%, something like this here, but it's fine. It shouldn't have a problem at all. The only important thing is that you set the active duration here, which is 33%. It needs to be here at the end the same amount. If it's not, then water is going to stay in, which is just wasteful. That is my opinion on it. So we will see how that looks like. We are down to 160 kilograms, 100 kilograms, and as soon as we reach 0, I'm going to press pause now. And we will see we have basically nothing left on our timer, but our reservoir is empty, and the cycle is about to start over. Our door opens. This one here turns on next. There we go. And we are putting in another 1,990 kilograms or something like that, since I now set it to 1%. And the system here will just run and run and run, and it's perfect. There's really nothing wrong with it in my opinion. But yes, let's take another quick look around. First of all, down here on the very bottom, we have gotten rid of all of the carbon dioxide. And let's make sure that is a true statement. Yes, everything is chlorine. Over here, the storage bin, it has 864 germs left of Slimelung. Yeah, that's basically nothing. And this one here has 80 germs left. Soon this here is empty, and we can actually use it for something else. We are pumping all of this water out of here, so this here soon is not going to be a problem anymore either. And on the left side over here, we made sure we have no more Slimelung germs at all. Isn't that great? And then of course we also set up our water, and our water is wonderfully working. And The eagle-eyed of you that have watched my first series may have noted the first time around I looped the water around and I just filled it back into the tank. This time around it's just sitting still doing nothing. Why is that? Well, the answer to the question is that the first time around we played on Rime and I used the water to heat up the base. Here on Oceania, that is of course absolutely not needed. It is more than warm enough. If anything, we need to cool our base here very soon, which is for right now perfectly fine, but later on that may be something that we have to do, but that is the reason why we are not looping the water. There's just no point in wasting the energy from our liquid pump. But yes, that is what I have for you today. So if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and comment down below. You know it, I'm always happy to hear from you. And with that, I'll say thank you and peace.